All right, perfect. All right, so this first video that I want to watch with you guys is once again Valuetament. This guy here, interesting guy, and they're going to talk about some. It's a mix in this video, and we're gonna slowly get through it. But I think some of the some of this basic information needs to be amplified by any means necessary, because there's a lot of ignorant people, and sometimes they're ignorant on purpose. Sometimes they're ignorant just because they haven't had the conversation that is needed with certain individuals. So let me go ahead and move this here. All right, 1 second. Let me make sure. All right, perfect. All right, beautiful. So let's go ahead and start this video here.
LGBTQ families mull leaving Florida in wake of new culture laws. Okay, new culture laws. Let's see what this story is all about, which, by the way, we talked about this briefly a few months ago. Robbie Price and his husband, Jordan Lechard, are considering leaving their home in Florida due to what they say is a lack of tolerance and policies that marginalize the LGBTQ community. The couple, who have been together for 12 years and have a 6-year-old son, Kellen, say that the discrimination and hate they have experienced in recent years has become in your face. In spring of 2022, a Florida legislator enacted 2 laws: the Individual Freedom Act, more commonly known as the Stop Wrongs Against Our Kids and Employees, WOKE Act, and the Parents' Right in Education, and dubbed by critics as a Don't Say Gay bill that regulates how race, sexual orientation, and gender identity can be discussed in schools. For me, when I see something like, I'm going to show you guys a video clip right now that you're going to be blown away by this man. Seriously, you're going to be blown away by this. Rob, I'm going to text it to you in a second. For me, here's how this works. You know how people were saying, Roe v. Wade, abortion this, abortion that. I don't feel safe being gay here, or I want entitlements. Look, if you want a lot of entitlements right now, the city.
Okay, first off, what does he? Man, I wish somebody was there to do a little pushback, because the word entitlements, that I don't know if he's just using that in a vague way to like represent like a basic human right, American rights of living, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness type. Let me see.
Look, if you want a lot of entitlements right now,
like entitlements, I'm pretty sure the LGBTQ people in Florida, they don't want, I mean, most of them, okay, I don't know all of them down there, but most of them, I don't think they want entitlements. That seems like you deserve something that is for you, in a sense, like entitlements, like your parents leaving you something behind, or I'm entitled to get that position at work, something like that. But I'm pretty sure they will all agree, and just with anyone else, they just want to be left alone. They don't want to be pointed out. They don't want people making laws specifically for them in a negative way. And Florida is known for that. Like, they don't want special entitlements. That sound like a prissy thing, like they're just trying to take. They just want to be left alone, just like any other American. So it's just weird how he uses that word entitlement. But I mean, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm nitpicking. But
the city of San Francisco is thinking about giving a $5 million reparation to black people in their city. Did you see the story or no? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear about
in San Francisco?
San Francisco wants to give $5 million of reparation to black people that live in that city. Guess what that's going to do? If I'm black and I'm wanting the $5 million, maybe I'll consider, if you can pull up that article. This is CNN. San Francisco Reparations Committee proposes a $5 million payment to each black resident. Think about that. How quickly would you want to go be a black resident in San Francisco?
Now, from what I heard is you would have to be a citizen of California for more than just like 10 days. If you knew that they were going to be give $5 million next week, I'm pretty sure you can't just pack up and leave, live at some random person's house and promise them, $200,000 if they let you live there. I'm pretty sure it's not going to just be that simple. I'm pretty sure you have to have been a resident there for a certain amount of time. But I would love to know his opinion on just the reparations parts itself, because I would like to hear what he has to say.
That is the fastest way to attract a lot of black residents, okay? If that's what you're proposing. If that's important to you, go to San Francisco. If for you want to be part of the LGBTQ community and you want to feel free to do whatever you want to do, Florida's not the state right now. It may change. Yeah. It's not right now. Consider going to Austin. Consider going to California. Consider going to different markets. By the way, I lived in Dallas. Dallas had a...
Hey, Mr. Anthony, yes, I did get the glasses. I definitely told you guys I needed glasses, and dang it, I definitely got them. Let me try to set this up here. I'll probably set that up. But okay, so he's talking about well, if you like these areas, California, thinking about, like, I don't even want to put the carriage before the horse here. They're thinking about giving reparations. Okay, we'll see it if it happens. If somebody is living in Tennessee, okay, and they're black, and they barely have a couple of dollars to their name, what makes you think they can easily just pack up everything, especially if they got kids, they got a spouse, they might have health conditions, they may not even have a car, a reliable transportation to get from Tennessee all the way to California. Like, he's making it seem like, well, if you don't like it where you're at, just pack up and leave. Like, don't you know it's a crazy percentage, like 60-70% of people don't even have $300 in their savings just in case something happens. But you expect for black people just to move to California, which, I mean, the whole entire country should be given reparations, but that's another conversation. Or if a gay couple in Florida wants to move out of there because, they're kind of being, bigots in Florida, it's not that easy just to pack up and leave. Like, that cannot be a solution. Like, hey, you're being mistreated in a state that you grew up in, and that's all you know, and you're being targeted because you believe in something or you have a different lifestyle than other people. Just pack up and leave. Like, come on. If that's your solution, I don't know. You're way out of touch. Way out of touch.
A very big gay community. Tom, I don't know if you remember this or not. Dallas's gay community was massive. Yep. When you would go to, Uptown, not Uptown, what was it? Not Highland Park, the other one, something park. It was
University Park. It was
University Park.
Just 6 blocks east of the American Arena.
Yeah. Hey, if you want abortions, right? Okay, these following states, go to those states. If you don't want to pay high taxes, you want to pay low taxes, there's 5 or 6 states, Tennessee, Texas, Florida. You got a few states you can go to that you can benefit from taxes. I want a lot of entitlement and welfare and stuff like that. Go to California. Go to New York. Your policies are going to attract the types of people you want. Mm-hmm. So I am not surprised, and I don't blame these folks for wanting to leave a state like Florida. Totally get it. I suggest this family choose a state that's going to be a little bit more accommodating to their policies because it's normal. Some places are not welcoming of certain people. I didn't feel welcome to be in California and a business owner. I can't sit there and bitch and...
Okay, so how is he going to... and he said complain and moan and bitch. So how does how is he equating being a business owner and not liking a state's tax policy, their regulations, maybe the business opportunity, the demographics don't fit whatever he's selling? How are you equating that to people being mistreated by their race, economically, by their sexual orientation? Like, how is he conflating the two? And people like that, I hate when they're business people. And I don't know too much about him. He might be a billionaire. I don't know. But it seems like anyone who identifies themselves as an entrepreneur, they always want to equate everything to business. Business examples, business this, business that. And it's like, how are you equating that? That doesn't make it. Can you become a regular person and stop trying to impress people by always pointing out to people that you're a business person? We know that. We understand. Still be a human being and not compare your business dynamics to people not feeling safe in America. Florida is still a part of America. California is still a part of America. Like, why are we acting like these are different countries? They should be able to live where they want and feel safe at the least. We're not saying everybody deserves millions of dollars. That's a different, well, I mean, reparations is a different conversation, but at the bare minimum, you should be able to live where you want and not feel unsafe. And this guy right here is saying, well, if gay people don't want to live in Florida, just live in Houston because there's a lot of gay people there. Like, I think you're missing like the more deeper importance of that conversation. But once again, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just, too poor to understand that.
Whine about it. I moved to Texas and I was very happy. Yep. And from Texas, I wanted lifestyle. I moved to Florida. I'm very happy. It could change 10 years from now based on a different governor. It could change 20 years from now. Tom, what are your thoughts when you read a story like this?
My thoughts don't go to this particular family. My thoughts go to, I get so tired of headlines that every time someone's upset, they're leaving and going somewhere else. If this election goes the wrong way, I'm moving to Canada. If this tax thing goes the wrong way, I'm moving to Canada. And you'll notice that Canada's population really hasn't gone berserk. So there's a lot of celebrities and people on the left that have not gone to Canada. So I think this I'm mad, I'm leaving stuff, I think is, they may have real reasons behind it, but I get tired of the headline like that. It's as you say, America is the greatest country in the world, and there are communities all over the place that you may feel more comfortable in this community and that community, and go find your comfort. And I just get tired of the I'm mad, I'm leaving angle, Pat. What you said about
okay, I get what he's saying. He doesn't like, and I'm kind of in the same boat. If you, and this is for like more so the racist, bigoted people. I don't like California because they're giving reparations, so I'm leaving. Like, bro, really? That's the reason why you're leaving? And 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna do a thing. But on the flip side, I hate it when people say, when people like me, and they explain the things that they don't like about America or its politics or the social realm that we're living in. And 9 times out of 10, someone who can't have a conversation with you, someone who doesn't have enough information to have that intellectual conversation with you, one of the default answers you're going to get is, well, you could leave. That's the same type of headache I get when I hear people say, well, if you don't like America, leave. If you don't like the policies in Florida, leave. It's like, wait, first off, who are you to tell me to leave? And if you know anything about the history of America, it's changed dramatically because people refuse to leave and make America live up to its promises. It's the land of the free, right? It's not the land of the pick your community that better fits you. If I want to live in, the suburbs, well, damn it, I should be able to live there if I can pay the mortgage or the rent or whatever the case is. I shouldn't have to feel like, oh, I'm a black man. I need to live in a community where they're not going to harass me, where they're not going to possibly threaten my life. That seems just kind of backwards. And he said that, we're the greatest country. It's like, well, we're the greatest country, but certain people can't live in certain communities because of their beliefs or the color of their skin. That just seems a little weird to kind of put that in the same sentence. At least to me, the greatest country will be like where you can live the life that you want as long as it's not threatening your neighbor. If you want to be gay, go for it. If you want to be black, be black. Be as black as you can be and not feel threatened to do that. Just a little weird to me.
Find a community that embraces you, that for who you are, what you want to do, where you want to go, or things you're working on right now. Go there.
But by the way, do you guys have any unique thoughts on this? If not, I want to show this video to you. Go ahead.
I'll give you one thing. By the way, what percentage of people in America are gay?
Well, it's increased. It used to be less than 1%. It's at 5%.
Right, but if you correct. By the way, if there's a recent
Oh well, let's see if he's.
This is by Gallup. They asked Americans what percentage you think are LGBTQ. They said 25%, meaning it's not 25%, it's 5%. So people get sensationalized. We had Nikki.
So once again, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it feels like he tried to throw in between the lines like, well, it used to be less than 1%, now it's 5%. Like people turned gay. Maybe, whenever they took that 1% poll, maybe people were too ashamed, too embarrassed, just didn't feel comfortable telling the world that they're gay. So I hate when people make it seem like people are just turning gay because of cartoons or, a celebrity's now gay now. People are just randomly turning gay. It's like, come on, let's just be a little fair with that,
Nikki Fried on the podcast. We were just talking about this last night, ironically, who was running for governor against Charlie Crist and the Democratic Party. And she was saying here on the podcast, when Jedediah and her kind of got into it, she goes, you understand how many people I talk to that aren't comfortable here in Florida and they want to leave and they don't like the fact that what's going on here and DeSantis and the Don't Say Gay bill and people are moving out of Florida in drove. I said, what? I go, I don't know where you're getting these numbers or who you're speaking to, but everything I'm seeing, hearing, feeling is people are flocking to Florida like crazy. But what you're trying to twist right now is the fact that people are leaving Florida because of a Don't Say Gay bill, and you're bringing up this story with Robbie Price and his husband Jordan Letcher. You're making this up. This isn't a real thing.
You know what I'm
People are
Okay, so one, and this is why what is the greatest country in the world? I mean, we could definitely have a conversation about that, because one side of me, I feel like America is the greatest country in the world because of what we as black people, and of course, it took a lot of people to make this happen, but we were able to transform this country from something so evil and slowly progress and actually live up to a high standard that America, it almost feels like we can't even obtain sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like the transformation of it is beautiful, at least to me. And, I mean, I think that's a pretty positive thing, but, so what he's talking about, which this is why I kind of hate statistics and data and polls and analytics, and because one, people lie all the time. They say, just like you say, this lady said that, a lot of gay people are just leaving by the droves and hundreds. It's like, okay, maybe you're kind of inflating that a little too much. And polls can be manipulated. They cannot be honest when, collecting data, such as, if you ask, how many people can dunk in Florida? And the answer is like 89% of people, Floridians can dunk. Well, the polls only ask people who are 10 feet tall. So of course your polls are going to reflect something that seems crazy, but they don't give that little tiny insight. So that's why I kind of hate polls and data sometimes. But to his bigger question is, if your mayor or your senate or whoever is running your state is creating laws that is specifically targeting a group of people in a negative way, if that causes one family to feel that uncomfortable to where they have to pack up and maybe they're not millionaires, because if you got money like that, you can move anywhere. So I kind of don't feel bad for you. But if you can cause a regular family to pack up and leave because they feel uncomfortable, that one family is one too many. I don't think you're doing your job effectively, at least for all citizens, because you're not just a representative of Republican voters. You're not a representative of just Democrat voters. You're a representative of your entire state, not just one or the other. So if you're creating policies that's obviously one-sided, okay, Ron DeSantis is not sugarcoating that. He's creating policy that's extremely one-sided, and if it's causing people to leave because of that, you're not doing your job effectively as people voted you for. I mean, I don't know. They voted Ron DeSantis to do that, so it gets a little weird, but in the greatest country, that's not supposed to happen, So I don't know. American politics is so weird, man.
Coming to Florida, stop it with the nonsense. Nobody believes you.
No, go ahead.
That's it.
Yeah, they're going to Florida because of taxes, essentially. People are leaving California because they don't like, the business tax, all the taxes, tax this, they're taxing me this. So they're going to states to where they can essentially have to not pay, not pay taxes, but pay very little taxes, which, once again, if you're moving because of that, I don't feel bad for you. Like, whatever.
But here's my thing, though. I don't know what you guys all read from that. It's coming down to these two, this gay male couple who have a kid. This all comes down to me. It's obsession with the kids. Okay, this is what it is. Nobody cares if you're gay or do whatever the hell you do. These acts to stop the woke, both of these acts that we put in is just
wait till
leaving.
you watch this video.
Leave, by the way, you're a gay couple, you have a 6-year-old kid, you teach whatever thing about gays, that kid's gonna know. You wanna leave here because why? The governor here is telling people, hey, listen, kids shouldn't be sexualized. They shouldn't know about this shit till they get older. If you wanna leave because we're trying to protect kids, what's this obsession with kids? And no, we wanna teach them.
Protect kids? Okay. Now, this is what really upsets me. Dude is getting all veiny in the neck. Look at his neck. Getting all veiny up in here because of what? First off, okay, let's go ahead and break this down like a fraction, okay? First off, it's not just gay people, which, I mean, this is a bloviated conversation, because I don't think gay people are actually trying to find kids and teach them about like gay sex. Like, I don't think reasonable, regular people are doing that. But what I do know is that our music, our media, our entertainers, everything is sexualized. I don't want my kids to know about straight sex. I don't want that. But look at Mr. Vane, Mr. Neck Vane is worried about, you're worried about our governor trying to protect our kids from learning about gay sex. It's like, well, I wish he would, like, across the board handle that. And then on the second part, let's look up Florida's child poverty rate. Let's look at child hunger in Florida. I don't see them making courageous, crazy policies when it's concerning that. Oh, of course not, because they don't care about kids. They just care about what they hate on the inside, and they find people to vote for them. So they're trying to give them what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? They don't care about the kids. They just care about feeding their base. Like, oh, you want me to make the don't say gay bill, and you know, all these crazy bigoted people are going to cheer that on. But I want to hear something about child hunger, child care. Oh no, Republicans want to take away food stamps and SNAP, which directly helps the kids. Like, oh my God, like it's just right. It's just crazy to me. Yeah, not too young to learn the N word. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's I don't know. It's just weird to me.
Semin, leave the fucking kids alone, bro.
Watch this video. Bro, just watch it. It's the perfect transition into this video. Watch this video.
Good evening. Every teacher that has a pride flag in their classroom should be fired and arrested. The gay flag is a sexual flag. It represents nothing other than sexual things. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and questioning. What business is it of anyone on this board of what children would like to do with other children?
Oh, man. All right. Okay, so I don't want to talk about people, but I don't know what the hell he has going on up here. Okay, first off, if we really want some context, okay, I'm all about context. The rainbow does not represent that. If you really want to get biblical here, the rainbow is a spiritual thing. It's a sign from God. When he created the flood, he said, this is going to be my sign for you guys, to remind you that I am not going to kill all humanity. Like, he might be trying to change his mind right now on how stupid some of these people are. But that's the purpose of a flag. So I mean of the rainbow. So let's just, be clear here. Second off, just because the teacher has a rainbow flag doesn't mean that they're trying to teach kids on sexual, gay things. If we do have examples of a teacher doing it, fire them. I don't care. Do it. I don't want them teaching anything about sex, especially if they're too young of an age. I would like to know his opinion about the American flag. What about let's say someone's from China. Let's say a teacher is from China. Can they have their flag represented in their class? I guarantee you he wouldn't like that. What about a Black Lives Matter flag? I guarantee you he wouldn't like that. They only want to go against things that they don't like. I need you to be inclusive with everything. If you don't want flags across the board, then go for it. Say that. But I get tired when people nitpick on certain things, but don't want to include everything else. I mean, that's just kind of weird to me. Hey, good evening. It's just Kenny. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching.
It is none of your business. It is between them and their parents. But however, you guys want to illegally survey your students. My name is Frank Rodriguez. I'm the Executive Director of Operations for Gays Against Groomers. I'm a 31-year-old gay man pushing back against the agenda that's happening within our classrooms. Keeping parents away from this discussion is absolutely severing the relationship between a child and their parent. My community is not discriminated against anymore. Shockingly enough, we succeeded. Now you're sending out surveys that's asking.
This is the not the black version, but the gay version of Candace Owens's types or the Officer Tatum types. Like when they say, and this is why Republicans love people like this. If they can get a black person to say racism is over. There's no such thing as racism. I don't get discriminated against. Racism has been dealt with. Then they're gonna prop them up, just like this guy posted is showing this video for a reason. This gay guy is saying these other gay people have a secret, a sexual agenda for the kids, but he's gay, so you can't say that he's transphobic or hates gay people. He's gay himself. It's like, come on. Just like Candace Owens doesn't speak for all black people, I'm pretty sure this gay guy doesn't speak for all gay people. That's just his opinion. Maybe he has some factual information. Hey, let's take a listen. But come on, don't just throw him up and be like, oh, you see, he's gay and he's saying this about gay people, so I'm not wrong. Like, come on, bro. Come on, let's be honest here. Also, I'll share the Gabriel Geit video in a server. Oh yeah, definitely share that. Yeah, identity politics, at least to me, has its place, but just like anything else, it can be used incorrectly. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of them. Like, it's like, come on, like there's, a lot of politicians will be against identity politics when it doesn't work for them, but when it works for them, they're posting it quick, fast, in a hurry. Like, oh, look at this gay person, he's saying exactly what I'm saying. Yay, identity politics. Like, come on.
Asking students what their gender is, what their pronouns are, and whether or not you should be telling their parents. Could you imagine if my son or one of yours went to school and said, hey, I'm gay, and you never knew? All of you up here are pretty intelligent. You have doctorate degrees, you're educated, and you lead this district. But yet, you turn a blind eye with the sexual things that happen in your classroom.
Watch this.
I refuse to believe that any of you think that that's appropriate. Because if you think that that is appropriate, you would be a predator. There's images that are going to be displayed
right.
today for you to see of a child sucking another child off. And that's in your classrooms.
What?
I shake because it makes me uncomfortable to even utter those words to you.
This is a gay man.
This is nothing about inclusion. It is nothing about...
You hear him? Look, this is a gay man saying this. I'm not gay. I don't really dwell in those kind of conversations, and I'm not really in tune with the community like that. But being a black man myself and knowing how other black grifters love to use their race, and if they're wrong or right, they will say anything and everything to get attention, to get that money, and to create a platform. This sounds like the same garbage right there. If he really knows what teachers are doing these disgusting things, which I agree with, teachers shouldn't be talking about that. That's why I don't send my kids to public schools. My kids are homeschooled because I will trip the hell out if a teacher, don't want to deal with that. But target those teachers. What is their names? What schools do they teach? Pull them up. But for him to lump all gay people that don't agree with him as somehow, pushing this secret agenda, is like, bro, come on. That's grifter 101. If you're being honest in what you believe in, you would critique it in a way to where you're not attacking people you don't know. People who are probably more intelligent, more loving, more kind than him will ever be. But no, he wants to lump them all in because he knows he has to do that. If he tries to make any more sense and try to, specifically attacked those teachers, he wouldn't have a job. He wouldn't have a platform, you know, because people don't like that.
About respect to my community. I say with you with 100% truth, according to the Center of Disease Control, that the reason my community faces such issues in this world has absolutely nothing to do with the straight people on this planet.
Wow.
Has everything to do with the drugs that we digest. Has everything to do with our access to health care. The number one reason my community has so many mental health issues is because they don't have access to health care. And that's directly from the CDC. It is not slurs, it's not gay bashing. We don't have access to therapy. If you really want to...
Why can't both be true at the same time? Like, a gay person not having access to healthcare can be, you know, a negative impact to their life. Them taking drugs is going to have a negative impact on their life. But someone who doesn't like gay people attacking, beating, mutilating, killing can have a negative impact on someone's life. Slurs, being targeted, being bullied can have a negative impact on people's lives. Why is that so hard to understand? See, like he almost had me there because he was like, access to healthcare, access to therapy, access to healthcare. It's like, okay, that's good. But then right away he flips it. It's like, come on. I would rather have people have access to healthcare and not be targeted with slurs and disrespect and discrimination. Why can't we have it all? Is that so hard? Why do we have to have one or another? Come on. Hey, the discussion is we're watching Valuetament, and they're talking about gay people leaving Florida and how, you know, they're overreacting and, you know, just the same old Republican talking points.
Help the LGBTQ community to feel really accepted in this world. Embrace that people have mental health issues and they should seek help. Having a classroom without the American flag in it is a disgrace to this country.
Wow. Whoa. It's a disgrace. What if, oh my God, it's just weird to me. Okay. My position on this is real simple, okay? If you don't allow anyone else to represent their country, represent their lifestyle, I don't want nobody to represent it, especially in a public place like schools. I'm a God-fearing man myself, but I will not be on the side to not allow somebody else of a different faith to show that off in public. For example, in schools, if someone is a Muslim, Buddhist, Catholic, whatever, and they want to represent that in their office area, in their classroom, let them do it. Because in my classroom, I'm going to have the flag. I'm going to have my God-fearing, you know, visuals up, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to be in a position to say, hey, I can do this, but you can't. No, either we're going to play fair or not at all. I hate when people do that. Even though I'm an American, I still feel that way. Like, come on.
If this country wasn't here, millions of people around the world would perish. And that flag, this flag, should be held high by every single student.
Dude, oh my
Powerful.
God.
Holy
Oh my
shit.
God.
That was fantastic.
31-year-old gay
crazy.
man
Gay guys.
screaming at the top of his lungs,
Lungs.
America first.
Yep.
Enough with the woke agenda.
Coming from a
that was a perfect.
fact-based think tank with statistics and things backing up his points.
Dude, like eloquent, like smart, saying it right, and then that twist of like, I'm a gay guy. Like,
And
what
the
the hell
moral
are you guys
authority.
doing? They're sucking.
That's the only part they care about is, and he's gay. They don't care. We have plenty of intelligent, well-spoken, well-dressed, carry themselves professionally democratic people. They will never give oohs and ahs like that to. They would never do that. So why are they pretending like? Why are they pretending as if they really care about that? The only thing they care about is that he said that he's gay and he's saying exactly the same hateful things we're saying. That's the only thing that they care about. Come on.
Each other off. Like, he felt like he was, how uncomfortable that was for him to say. And he's a gay guy.
And
And
you
he's
can't
gay.
say you're
But he's
anti-gay,
gay.
you're anti.
No,
It's like I'm
I'm
gay.
gay. Adam, I love
just
those
left
arguments.
my boyfriend's
And
house.
Going back to Adam, leave the kids alone. It's none
Yeah.
of your goddamn business.
Yeah.
It's the parents' responsibility, bro. And if a gay couple wants to leave because the school is not, guess what?
Yeah, they definitely kidnapped the term woke, just like they kidnapped critical race theory, Black Lives Matter, police reform, Black Power. Like, it's so many things that they love to just kidnap and just make it their own. But it's weird because even when parents are trying to raise their own kids and just so happen they might be gay, they get into the parents' business. So I don't buy this whole, it's up to the parents. Let the parents raise and teach their kids. If the parents and their kids come into an agreement that their daughter doesn't feel like a girl, wants to be a boy, so they want to when they get older and get into the space to where they can have these surgeries or take these hormone pills or whatever, people get mad. Republicans get mad. Oh no, parents shouldn't be doing that. Parents shouldn't be this. Parents, bad parents, take the kids away. Oh, this. What is he talking about? I wish they had somebody there to say, that's a little bull. You throwing some bull out there. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. Wearing a dashiki and an afro. I'm sure.
You teach your own kid whatever the hell you want. Leave the ones that's going. If you want to leave, bro, bye.
But
You're
that's
gonna
what
free
you
up
need at
traffic.
the end of the day is people calling out their own side.
I
whether
love
it's
that.
in politics, whether it's in social issues, it's when you're calling out your own side and say, guys, enough.
Yeah.
What did he say specifically? He's like, we won. We
won.
figured it out. It's done.
Yeah.
Now there's this
We
complete
won.
overcorrection and this indoctrination of
Oh man, what do you mean you won? Won what? It's just like when people say, it's just like when black people say there is no racism. Like I just dropped a video today, pretty much talking about Morgan Freeman saying racism. We can solve racism by not calling me a black man and I don't call you a white man. It's like, no, that's not a solution. Just because one black person says, I haven't seen racism and discrimination hasn't affected me, doesn't mean all the other, 13 million other black Americans haven't faced racism. So what are you talking about? Like, I don't know. I just hate when people do that.
kids.
Yeah.
And as a gay man, he's just basically saying enough.
Yeah.
Enough's enough.
And and I questioned the other day. I was like, what is the obsession? Why is it that the powers that be want the sexualization of kids? Why are they pushing this down everybody's throat? No pun intended. Why?
Okay, why has media, music, entertainment, movies, TV shows, commercials, why does everything have to be sexual in general? That should be the question. Not just, why is gay stuff, what I'm saying? Why is gay stuff being pushed down into everybody's faces? I mean, come on, man. Like, Mr. Vein Neck, man, is killing me, man. Jesus.
Why is it happening, Pat? Like, why do you guys think they're forcing this so much and they're trying to make it like, look at the don't say gay bill and all this stuff?
Anyway,
why such a push?
So this just makes you when you hear, this is the crazy thing about speakers. When I was first getting into sales, I would watch different people speak from stage. And, the first one was so, as a kid, that I was attracted to was the guys that just screamed the entire time.
Yeah.
And they didn't know how to, like, enunciate, kind of go up, go down, go up, go down. Let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take over the world. I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, this is so awesome. And then after, like, a few months of listening to him, I'm like, dude, I'm burned out. And then I watched the guy would get up and speak. And then next thing you know, 60 minutes felt like 2 minutes. And you're like, wow, I never saw marriage that way before. I never saw money that way before. I never saw leadership that way before. I never saw relationships that way before. The guy didn't raise his voice. He was just kind of talking to you. And then when you wanted to make one point, maybe we would go elevate and, get excited about it. And you're like, that was the best speech I heard. This guy didn't raise his voice, stayed at the same level for 2 minutes and 20 seconds or so. And I got the chills all over my body.
Oh
because when somebody makes an argument in a logical way using reasoning and tapping into your emotions where you don't feel like a victim, you listen to this guy saying he sounds like a person that doesn't want you to feel sorry for him. He wants to be a leader and he's given solutions. You just get off and you say,
hold on. Time out. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys in the chat have seen the one video that probably got you to subscribe. Is the Cornel West and Candace Owens debate that I posted a couple months ago. That's the one thing I said that draws me to people like Cornel West. He doesn't yell at you. He's not going to call you names. He's going to call you my brother. He's going to say that he loves you. And he not only has statistics and stats, but he has that emotional connection with people and you. And he's going to talk to you like he's trying to talk to his kids. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to correct them with love and understanding and facts and information. But I guarantee you, this guy is not going to even come close to understanding or agreeing with a Cornel West. I'm just saying, like, it's weird how I've been saying that for months. And it seems like every time I try to explain that to people, they look at me like I'm crazy. But look at his face. Look at his face. Like, it's just weird to me. Like, come on.
Great freaking point, man.
Beautiful.
What are you going to say to a guy like that?
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't do anything but just give his argument to us, and we heard him out. Okay. We need more people like this to make their arguments. A guy like this, I don't know who this guy is. I've never met him. Frank Rodriguez. Some of you guys are asking about me sharing the video. I'm about to tweet it out so you can go out there and see it and learn more about him. They're trying to fight against the system that's trying to groom kids. And if that's really who he is, if this is not a spoof, if this is not trolling, if this isn't anything, he feels very sincere. People like this are going to make a very big impact the next 5, 10, 15 years. What is this here?
So would he say that to the flip side if a gay person was on the opposite end, saying that we're not grooming kids and we want to protect gay people, we want to tackle these bills and these legislations that's hindering us, that's targeting us in a negative way, but he said it in a loving way. He doesn't disrespect anyone. He keeps the same level for about 2-3 minutes, and he looks well educated and soft spoken. Will he say the same thing? No, he wouldn't. Simple. He wouldn't. Like, this is just a nice performance. Like, wow, we need more people like this, because he's not screaming. He's not upset. Like, come on.
Are you talking about? Gays Against Groomers, a coalition of gay people who oppose the recent trend of indoctrinating, sexualizing, and medicalizing children under the age of under the guise of LGBTQ. Our community that once, can you zoom in a little bit more so I can read it? Our community that once preached love and acceptance of others has now been hijacked by radical activists who are now pushing extreme concepts onto society, specifically targeting children in recent years. The overwhelming majority of gay people are against what the community has transformed into, and we do not accept the political movement pushing their agenda in our home. Gays Against Groomers directly opposes the sexualization and indoctrination of children. This includes drag queens, story hours, drag shows involving children, the transitioning and and medicalization of minors, and gender theory being taught in classrooms.
Okay, I'm kind of tired of listening to this guy talk. Okay, so pretty much my thought is this: is I am not for teaching kids anything about sex. Okay, even it gets a little weird even when they become teens. Okay, I got little ones, 11, 9 and 8. I want them to be far away from that as possible. I want them to be far away from gay sex, straight sex, all of it. I want my kids to just be kids, worried about Pokemon and Barbies. That's it. You know what I'm saying? If people would just be honest and stop trying to do these cultural wars and pick these weird sides and just say, hey, like, maybe our kids shouldn't be exposed to any of this. And I'm pretty sure people would agree. Like, then we wouldn't have to create these weird bills targeting a certain group of people. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just the weird guy, and the other day someone said I'm just too broke to understand. So maybe I'm just too broke to understand common sense. I don't know. I'm 42 and I'm more concerned. You know what? Hey, I wish that would be the most hyped problem of people's situations, because then the world wouldn't be too bad. You know what I'm saying? But now let's see. Oh yeah, when he pulled up the information for Roland, they couldn't find anything. They act like they didn't even have a keyboard. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. Oh man, people are crazy. Let me check in the Discord. Like always, this is where I have to let's see. So, if you guys are not in the Discord, join the Discord. This is where we're going to be having these kind of discussions on a day-to-day basis. Join the Discord. I am going to try to find a link before we get into our next video here. I'm still kind of slow at this. I apologize. Copy. Boom. I have like too many windows up. Jesus. Enjoy. They'll be coming for Pokemon. Oh, at some point, it feels like, shoot. All right. So once again, join the Discord if you want to have these conversations on a day-to-day basis. I'm still slowly creating a way to where I can have you guys even be a part of the videos, speak, 20 to 30 seconds of your opinion on whatever subject matter that comes about. I'm trying to make this an actual community thing. So don't be shy. You know what I'm saying? Join the Discord and let's have that conversation. And like this video. I mean, let's do some YouTube stuff and like this video. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So now this video was suggested by Mr. Ty the Detailer. Malcolm X, his family is suing the NYPD. I can't really see my screen here. Is plans to sue the NYPD, the FBI, and the CIA for $100 million. This is going to be interesting. Suing everybody and their mama. And I watched the video beforehand, and it's kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. All right, let's go ahead. Flip over here. Wrong one. Hey, there I am. All right.
The family of Malcolm X will now sue the CIA, the FBI, the NYPD because of the claim these entities engaged in a conspiracy. Judges also believe this happened as well. I'm going to give you some background and significant insight into why this is not outside of the statute of limitation and why the evidence is there today. It was not there before. Let me first take you to the video of the daughter. Here it is.
Now, at the very place where he was killed, his daughter says she wants answers.
For years, our family has fought for the truth to come to light concerning his murder, and we'd like our father to receive the justice that he deserves.
This man, Thomas Hagen, was convicted of killing Malcolm X, along with two other men who were later acquitted.
Black people should realize that freedom is something that they have when they're born.
The family of Malcolm X accuses various government bodies, including the FBI and CIA, of failing to prevent his wrongful death. It's also claimed they concealed evidence that would have cleared the two men who were wrongly convicted of his murder.
And so for
Okay. First off, let me ask everybody in the chat, who is really surprised that the FBI, the CIA, the NYPD would cover up or hide information or even enact in some, disingenuous way? I'm not too surprised by that. I'm surprised that now it's coming to light and it's more than just a conspiracy theory. Because there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, but this actually has feet, because this man ain't gonna show up trying to do a lawsuit for $100 million and they don't have a little substance. They don't have a couple of reliable documents. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I'm not surprised that the CIA would do something like that. Like, come on.
this great injustice, we will be filing a wrongful death lawsuit against these governmental entities for $100 million.
I have much more background. Some of you may already be asking, can you even sue the CIA? Yes and no. I will explain that during my presentation of this story. Late prominent civil rights leader Malcolm X, his family, will now file a wrongful death lawsuit against the New York Police Department, the CIA, the FBI, and the state of New York for their alleged role in the assassination of Malcolm X. The $100 million wrongful death lawsuit accuses the government agencies of fraudulent concealment of evidence. That's an important dynamic of this case surrounding the murdered civil rights icon's death. Now, they're suing for fraudulent cover up, concealment. This is how you get things into court. You don't sue based on rumor or things you cannot actually prove based on evidence readily available. For example, for decades, it has been echoed that a coordinated attempt by all of these agencies led to the assassination of Malcolm X. Well, that may be true. However, when it comes to filing a court case, you get in based on the evidence you already have. They have the evidence of criminal concealment. I will explain that in just a moment.
Here it comes.
There's more. The lawsuit comes a little over 3 months after New York settled lawsuits filed by 2 men wrongfully convicted of murdering the Muslim leader and on the 58th anniversary of his death. The civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who was representing the family, said the exonerated man's lawsuit that claimed the FBI, NYPD, and the New York district attorney fraudulently concealed evidence made way for Malcolm X's daughter to seek legal redress. This is important, based on the government's admission that they concealed evidence involving the assassination of Malcolm X. The truth of what happened and who was involved has always been critical, Crump said Tuesday. Follow the information. Benjamin Crump, attorney at law, is saying because of this case before, which
and Mr. Mays, you are 100% correct. X, Martin, Black Panthers, Bobby Seale, Fred Hampton, and what Dr. Ritchie is going to say at the end of this video. I think the last 20 seconds of this video was probably one of the most important things that I think a lot of people need to understand. And it's pretty much echoing what you said, but
which went down in 2021 because of a ruling from a judge in recent history. It provided the evidence required in order to move forward with this case. There will be some bumps in the road. There's more. Malcolm X was assassinated at the Audubon Ballroom in Manhattan. This was 1965. Crump and his co-counsel, Ray Hamlin, argued that the leader's daughters were traumatized after seeing their father shot 21 times by a group of men.
Damn.
Malcolm left behind 6 daughters. His daughter, Malika Shabazz, died in November 2021. Where I'm about to take you provides significant connection to the then and the now.
All right, let's
Put
go.
up the picture of the letter written by a former NYPD undercover officer. The letter you're looking at was from 2011. The man who wrote it, according to the estate, is Raymond Wood. Raymond Wood was a Black undercover NYPD agent. He wrote this letter as a dying bed confession. It was delivered to the family by the administrator of his estate, another family member with the last name Wood. Raymond Wood, who is now deceased. Crump said Raymond Wood was an undercover officer who was used by the NYPD to infiltrate and discredit Black leaders and civil rights organizations in the 1960s and in the 1970s. In this deathbed dying confession, he implicates that the NYPD and the FBI conspired to assassinate Malcolm X. Crump said, adding that the letter indicates Malcolm X's death was orchestrated by the government. There's more.
Okay. Oh my goodness. What more do we need to prove to people? I don't. We have someone who worked there who was in the trenches, who heard all this. Now, we're about to get into the conversation why he didn't speak out on this beforehand, because, you know, it's actually kind of interesting on both sides of that argument. But I guarantee you there's going to be people, one, who don't care, who don't care, and two, will still make excuses on the deaths of Malcolm X, Black Panther Party, self-defense, Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, Fred Hampton, Martin Luther King. Like, why were our black leaders assassinated? One, and where would we be today if they weren't killed? Because, you know, a lot of, people like to complain and say, you know, make the change, you know, stop complaining and do something. But when we have black leaders who elevate themselves to enact these changes, they die, or will not die. They're murdered. They're assassinated. I wonder why. That's just so weird to me. Like, why? And then they look at black people like we can't do anything. Like, we're just so vulnerable and have a victim mentality. But we have proof in history showing when black people try to make change, they're killed. And now nobody wants to be a leader. Nobody wants to be that guy because we already know our own government is going to take you out. Who would want to be a leader at that point? You know what I'm saying? Like Huey P. Newton said, to be a leader, to be an activist, to be a revolutionary, you better be ready to die. You better be ready to be murdered. One of his quotes, I kind of paraphrased it, but even he knew. Come on, guys.
This was back in 2021, all right? The family of Malcolm X has made a public letter attributed to a now deceased former New York Police Department officer in which the ex-cop claimed the police and the FBI were behind the assassination in 1965. This was revealed by Wood that he was pressured by his supervisors. Who are his supervisors? The police, the NYPD, according to him.
I want names,
in the department
bro.
to get members of Malcolm X's security detail to commit crime. Understand the strategy here. He says this was orchestrated by his handlers, all right, in order for them to arrest the security of Malcolm X. There's more. So that the security would be unable to manage the door security at the ballroom on the day of the assassination. Under the direction of my handlers, the letter says, I was told to encourage leaders and members of the civil rights groups to commit felonious acts, Wood's letter stated. The Statue of Liberty bombing plot was Wood's supervisor's idea.
Damn.
The plot was publicized on the 16th of February, days before Malcolm X's murder. Walter Bowe and Khalil Saeed, two key members of the orator security detail, were arrested. At that time, he says, I was not aware Malcolm X was the target, Wood wrote. Officer Wood puts together an amazing tapestry of events. Now remember, he was an undercover officer. He was in possession of information that could have very well been either A, completely confidential given the rules of undercover work, or even classified. He gave a deathbed confession, said, do not deliver this letter until I am dead. Some may ask, why did he not stand up?
Now here's the conversation. Here's the conversation.
According to the administrator of the estate, they threatened to arrest Mr. Wood and pin drug trafficking charges on him if he ever spoke out about what happened. As a matter of fact, according to the administrator of the estate, if he even quit the department, they were going to charge him with illegal narcotics trafficking.
All right, so when I heard that, I was like, even before he even got to the part to where he explained on why he couldn't leave, why he couldn't say anything, why he couldn't get that off his chest a lot earlier instead of waiting until he died. I was thinking probably what everybody else is thinking, and tell me in the chat what you were thinking. If you knew that your life was in jeopardy, your family, your wife, your kids, whoever, your dog, if you own pets and you love your pets that much, would you put all that on the line to speak this truth right then and there in the moment, not waiting until you're old and dusty or, you're on your deathbed? Would you put everything on the line to get that truth out? And I'm gonna be honest with you, like that's a tough one for me. Like I know everybody would like to be that courageous one and say, I don't care what you do, I'm putting out the truth one way or another. And I wish it, maybe if this was during the internet era, like social media, he could leak the documents or something. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it would be a lot harder to get that kind of sensitive information out. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I don't know. I got kids. I'm married. That puts someone, especially a black man on the inside, and I'm pretty sure he was trying to make a difference. Seeing this go down, what do you do? I don't know. That's a hard pill to swallow, but I mean, I guess justice is better served late than never. You know what I'm saying? So I would want to see how this plays out. But of course, something like this is going to take years and years, and it's going to be a lot of roadblocking. It's going to be a lot of disingenuous actors just finding ways to just continue to just push this down the road. So, yeah, definitely feel like he was probably trying to protect his family. And I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, but can you imagine the burden that he had upon years? That was like, what, 96? So that's what, 40, 35, 50-ish years of holding that, knowing that one of the greatest black activists in all time, who's going to go down in history books forever, was set up and murdered, and you know the truth. Only you know the truth. Can you imagine what kind of burden that puts on somebody? Jeez. Can you imagine the anxiety and just the paranoia? I can't speak right. Paranoia, something like that. I don't know. It's yeah. Julian Assange. I know a little bit about that situation. I gotta kind of dig deeper into that, but yeah, I heard a little bit about the Assange situation. Government, man, it's nothing to play with, especially when the wrong people are in those positions,
So his silence was self-preservation. Back to the question in reference to the CIA. Can you sue them? The short answer is yes. The long answer is, but you may not get far. Here's why. There's a doctrine known as state privilege secret state privilege or state secret privilege, which allows the CIA to basically say, we can't give you that information because it's a matter of national security. This is not a law. There's no federal statute. Courts have interpreted this doctrine to be an extension of presidential authority or a presidential executive action. That extension or that interpretation of this extension of presidential power allows the CIA to administratively decide what information comes out and what information does not. All right. We will bring you details as they continue to develop. Doc, I know you know a lot about this, all right? I would like to hear your sentiment on the suit that's being filed shortly.
A couple things. I mean, I'm so glad this is happening. You kind of think that there's stories like this that are happening, but you honestly never get to look under the hood. And so think of all the other assassinations like Martin Luther King, for example, that you just think maybe there's some kind of conspiracy. Things don't add up. I don't have any details, but it's just like this is important for the family. It's important for this particular case. It's important because it shows you the threat that Malcolm X posed to society, but it also shows you the coordinated nature of this kind of assassination, where they were arresting his guards the day before. This was a time when there were really tight gun laws. You couldn't just carry a gun around, and so getting guns and just carrying guns into a hall like this. And so it just shows you the systemic nature of things like this. I'm so glad this is happening again to right a historical injustice, really a state-sponsored murder.
He actually brings up a good point. Wouldn't this be a great example of systematic racism? I don't know. Like, this is literally a system in a racial way killing somebody. Like, I don't know. Like, am I just looking into this too hard? Am I trying to cherry pick and enforce this systematic banner on this situation? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I just don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But it just seems a little weird when people say, "Well, where is systematic racism?" Well, I mean, kind of just look at one generation ago. I mean, it wasn't that long. We're not talking about hundreds of years ago. Like, this was literally, he should still at least be somewhat alive today. Like, maybe, you know, people do live to like 80, 90 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just a little weird to me.
But I also think it's important just because I think that we have questions about so many similar acts of political violence. And I think really the public has a right to know. So hopefully this case will open the door for learning about other cases.
Yeah, and we're going to continue following the case. I do find it ironic that at the time of his assassination.
Here's the here's the important part I want you guys to listen to.
In the case, I do find it ironic that at the time of his assassination, he had an overview that was different than when he started with the Nation of Islam. When he went on his pilgrimage, he came back with a different point of view. He no longer called white people the devil, because he said, I went somewhere where white people were my brother. That created a dissension. For some reason, that's when the government got really involved, when he decided to look at the world from a different point of view. All right, we will continue bringing you.
Man. Oh. Bars. I think that's probably one of the biggest threats that the government will see and will actually have them enact on. You can say all the crazy things you want. You can do all the crazy things you want to do. You can, I mean, as we've seen in the past couple of years, storm the Capitol. Man, the sky's the limit. When you're crazy and you have no common sense, you have no intellectual depth, you just freestyling everything, you're just doing dumb things. They don't care about that. But one thing that will get you taken out quick, fast, in a hurry is when you're trying to unify, like actually unify everybody. Black, white, everything in the middle, rich, poor, everybody. Look at Martin Luther King. Look what he was trying to pursue. He didn't cast out white people. He didn't cast out Mexican people. If he would have did that, I'm pretty sure people would have left him alone. But he wanted to unify, and he found a way to look beyond race. Economically. When he was in jail, one of the guards was saying something, probably disrespectful, and Martin Luther King asked him, he's like, "How much do you make?" And the jailer must have said something, dirt poor response. And Martin Luther King said, "Well, shit, you should be marching with us." Like, just that example shows the agenda and what he was, how he knew how to unify everybody. Hey, we're not going to even talk about race. You're poor and I'm poor. And those people over there have the money on lock and they're being greedy and they're not going to share it with nobody. We need to unify together. He knew how to do that. With Malcolm X, once again, it seemed like, he was definitely on the radar because that's Malcolm X. But when he came back, Mr. Tory, he did change his mind at the end because he realized, and I just finished the book Radical King. He did realize that with the Civil Rights Act being in place, it was a whole bunch of backlash that happened, and it was causing people to get killed. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the 60s, like, there was no social media to save your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to get rode on. So at the very end, he was like, "Hey, did I just have my people run into a burning building?" You know what I'm saying? But I still think he knew and understood his goal as a whole, which is not a bad goal. You know what I'm saying? But, we know our government doesn't like that. But with Malcolm X, when he went to the Mecca, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he was like, he was probably expecting to see a bunch of dark-skinned people, a bunch of brothers there. But he said he saw all kinds of people there, white, black, and everything in between. And that showed him, because, he was a deep believer that even white people can serve the same God. More or less, definitely read the book because, like I said, I'm paraphrasing. So when he came back, he had a whole different agenda. And that right there, when he started trying to unify people. But of course, when he tries to unify people, the Black Panther Party of self-defense, wasn't it Reagan? I think it was Reagan. Whichever president was president at that time, said the number one threat was after school programs or after school breakfast or lunch. Why would that be the biggest threat? To unify people, to unify black people, that's his biggest threat. Helping the community was their biggest concern. I mean, there's wars going on, there's political problems going on, but they're more focused on the Black Panther Party of self-defense serving their community, doing what the government is failing to do. And that's what got, to me, in my opinion, that's what put them on the map. Once you start trying to unify people, hey, you're not getting tied up in the, white people are the enemies. Black people are just the victims. J. Edgar Hoover, that's who it was. Hoover, that's who it was. Not oh boy. Yeah, Hoover was the one in the hills. Yeah, that dude right there. Once you start trying to unify people, man, that's when you better get ready. So I don't know, man. People are crazy. People are crazy. All right, guys. Talk to me. Ooh, let's turn this down a little bit. All right, so I just had those two videos in rotation. You know what I'm saying? Definitely join the Discord, and then I'll probably start accumulating videos that you guys post in the Discord to talk about during live streams. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to talk about and have conversations about things you guys want to talk about. Essentially, you know what I'm saying? So definitely join the Discord and join the conversation, because that's where the conversation is happening. You feel me? What I'm reading now, I want to point that out. So I finished the 1619 project. It was like 300 something pages, and I finished that in a week. And like I told you guys in the last stream, I'm setting myself a goal to read a book a week. So I finished that this past Sunday, and now I am reading this here. And this is, I'm so digital. Like, it's weird that I actually bought a hardcover book. Like, I'm so digital, baby. Like, all my books is digital. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more convenient. But I bought this book. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hebrews to Negroes. It's a thick book too. This ain't no elementary book here. This is not something that you gonna just read on your coffee break. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't started reading it yet because I want to, because like I said, I'm a God-fearing man. You know what I'm saying? I've been a God-fearing man for about 10-ish years. I read my entire Bible once, and now I want to do it again. So my goal is to read my entire Bible from Genesis to Revelations in 2 weeks. Well, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So I'm going to read that entire book in 3 weeks, and then get into my Hebrews to Negroes book, because it's referencing a lot of scriptures. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure I'm brushed up and kind of have, some understanding. What book changed your life? I would say definitely the Bible. I know that's such a generic answer, but I mean, I would not have the mindset and the drive and the courage to do what I feel I'm doing something correct here. And trust me, I have a lot of other ideas planned in the future, but the Bible for sure. Now, if you want to talk, outside of religion, I would say, let me pull up my list here. Because probably in the past 2 years, I've read about 43 books. And one of my favorite books has to be, let's see. All right, so 2 books. Okay, I'm gonna say 2 books. I'm going to say by Michael Eric Dyson, Entertaining Race. That was a good book. I don't know if it like changed my life, but it actually gave me a lot of informative information that I can kind of, have in a conversation. I get, hopefully that makes sense. And then of course, Race Matters by Cornel West. When I read that about from Cornel West, I was like, hey brother, that was a book. It made me feel good about me wanting to do what I'm doing, essentially. I don't know if that makes sense. What verse or chapters specifically made you say, Well, one, I don't know if you guys can see this. I have a verse right here. I have a verse here and a verse here. I used to do Christian rap. I used to be an artist back in the day. Did performance throughout churches in front of like 1,200 people. Met a lot of high, well-known Christian artists. And one of my verses that I love, one is Romans 1:16. I am unashamed. I am unashamed of the gospel, for it's the power of God, first the Jews, then the Gentiles. Then Philippians 1:21. Philippians 1:21. That verse right there just gave me goosebumps every time I say it. To live is Christ, and to die is gain. To live is Christ, and to die is my gain. So I mean, those 2 verses right there is just, that's in me, baby. You know what I'm saying? That gets me pumped up and excited all over again. So but of course, I mean, it's so many in second John, one of the Johns, greater is he who lives in me than he who is in the world. Tell yourself that every single morning. I guarantee you're gonna be walking on water sooner or later. Greater is he who lives in me than he who is in the world. Beautiful. y'all gonna have me start preaching. Imagine Superior on stage doing Christian rap. Oh no, there is videos. I was actually doing pretty daggone saucy with it. I used to go by Young Preacher. YUNG Preacher. Do you know one of the earliest gospel rap songs? Like, do I just in general know? I'm not sure what you're asking. I started off with Lecrae. That was probably one of the first rap artists that I started listening to. But of course, before that, they were doing Christian rap. So, but that was like before my time. But yeah, if you Google, actually, I wonder how I could do this. Cause it feels like you guys don't believe me. It's like, I'm joking. Let's see. Window capture. Let's see. And let me make that small here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm freestyling all this right here. So just give me like 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. All right, so I'm not sure if you guys are still here. If you guys are still here, I appreciate you. Let's see. I haven't done music in like years. Oh, here it is. Ooh, there it is. There it is right there. So that is oops, can't see now. So yeah, this was me 20 years ago. So I wonder if I'm gonna try something. Now if YouTube trips out, that's probably why your mic sounds crisp. Like I was highly into audio. Audio was my number one thing. So that's why, you know, I try to invest a lot of my time and money into my audio. Next is going to be, you know, my visual. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, preach. That goes hard. That goes hard. All right, guys. So we're probably gonna. Oh my God. All right. Okay. Enough of that. I'm gonna have to listen to this when when I get off, because that just brings back memories. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead. You know, we'll probably say this for a different time here. How old are you? You look 36. You telling me you like 50? Well, actually, me and my wife just turned 36 today. You know what I'm saying? Like, today is our birthday, and you know, we were born on the same day, month, year, everything. She's like 10 years older than me. Or I mean, not 10 years, 10 hours older than me. But yeah, so I'm 36. So I was making Christian music when I was like 24. Yeah. So well, yeah, not 20 years ago. I think I probably exaggerated that just a little bit, but 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 yeah, so I definitely am a God-fearing man, and hopefully, you know, you guys like the content that is conformed around, you know, what I believe in. Thank you, Mr. Ty the Detailer. Once again, thank you for being I think you're probably one of the first people in the Discord. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate you watching the streams. I had like 2-3 streams, and you've been there every single one. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. Oh yeah, I mean, I was cool. I was cool, Mr. Raya. I apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly, but thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely wasn't the best, but you know, I think I had a little skill. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't too shabby, you know. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I'll definitely let my wife know also. She was probably poking around in in the chat every once in a while, but I appreciate that. Hey, thank you, Mr. Tory. I appreciate that. But once again, I mean, like, you know, if I don't have no more videos, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just kind of threw this together. Next time I'm going to be a little bit more prepared. I want to have people who are in the chat, who are in the Discord, and I'm probably going to find that and send that off one more time, because my plan is to have you guys actually on the show. We can have a actual audio conversation, you know, nothing crazy. You know, if you guys are a little shy or whatever, you know, just like a minute conversation about whatever topic we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I want you guys to be a part of it, because this is power to the pod, power to the people. I am not the people. I need the people to speak with me. You know what I'm saying? I need people to know that this is a movement and not just a guy just on YouTube just saying whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is actually for the people. And what good is it if the people ain't speaking? You know what I'm saying? So let me find this link here. So once again, don't be shy to join the Discord. It's a lot of like-minded, you know, intelligent people. How's the voice messaging going? It was the ones that you guys sent. It was just the audio was just a little low. So like I said, next time, you know, just speak clearly into the mic, and then I'll start adding that into my content, you know, because like I say, this is not an actual for the people podcast if the people ain't talking. You know what I'm saying? So once again, there's I don't know where I'm pointing. There's the Discord. Join the conversation, and I'm going to get you guys conversating. I also want to invite my friends to talk to you about the airplane surveillance. If you go live tomorrow, you fear God, because I don't. I love God. If I fear, why do you fear God? So I could just break this down for you real quick. It's not a fear like I'm scared, you know, like I'm hiding in the shadows and just don't want to show my face. It's a reverent fear. It's that respectable fear. You know, like if that makes sense. I do fear God. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, I do believe if I don't follow his commandments, if I don't be the light that he called me to be, I am fearful that he will leave me. But I have that respectable fear, that knowing that he's omnipotent, omnipresent, and omnipotent. You know what I'm saying? He's everywhere and he's watching me. So I have that respect fear for him, if that makes sense. But I won't be live tomorrow, because tomorrow's my last day off. I gotta record my videos, because I do a lot of pre-recording. I gotta do that, and then, you know, it's my last day off. You know, I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I work 4 days, 3 days off. So, you know, I try to, you know, record my videos and then use the rest of my time to, you know, be with my family. So I'm trying to get into my schedule, being live on Wednesdays around 7:30. That is the time. So make sure, you know, if you want to, you know, have these further conversations, one, join the Discord, because I will forget. That's one thing I am a pro at, is forgetting things. So unless I write this down, or unless you consistently remind me, I will forget. And putting on moving Washington and President's Day to January. I would like that, like to make MLK Observance Day in February. Go for it. I mean, why not? I mean, if it wasn't for people like Martin Luther King, like we as a nation wouldn't be where we're at. Like people seem to not understand or forget that he wasn't just for black people. He put so many people on the map. Women, gay people, disability. Like he did so much more than just for black people. So like, why not? You know, like, but of course, you know, Republicans are not gonna like that. Of course, like, so like that might be, you know, high hopes there, but, but let me throw on some soft music because it just gets a little awkward if I'm just talking to myself here. Let's see. I like the slow joints. But tomorrow, oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, if you guys got any more questions that you guys would like to ask, let me know. It's only 9:15 my time, so I got plenty of time. I'm staying up all night anyway, so. Once again, don't forget to like this video. I mean, you know, let's do that YouTube stuff that people like to say, you know, because it might work. But once again, we're probably going to be winding down here. So I appreciate you guys watching. Like, for real. I appreciate you guys watching, having these conversations, even if it's to benefit us and to improve us individually as people. That is my goal, is to build myself up, my kids, my wife, my friends, my family, my neighbors, and my friends. You're my friend if you're watching this. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I know you're excited. Calm down. But we're friends now. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you guys watching. And well, shoot, I will see you guys next week. Did you see the video where the little white girl said Martin Luther King died for our sins? I didn't see that. I mean, you know, I don't want the little girl to think, you know, Martin Luther King was Jesus, but I mean, you know, I would kind of like to know, you know, her thoughts on that, because I mean, he definitely did die trying to help people, for sure. Ooh, 15 inches. Well, I live in Colorado, so 15 inches is like a pretty normal thing here. Cold as hell. Stay inside if possible. And if you do got to go out, drive as slow as you need to. Drive as slow as you need to. But once again, guys, I definitely appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to close with my slogan, okay? Once again, thank you guys for watching Power to the Pod, where we are committed to an intellectual integrity and a moral honesty. And remember, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod. I know it's probably a little corny, but I'm